Hey everyone, this is Peter Hall. Today I'm gonna be reading an article from the AP that I read a couple of days ago. It's about the Ohio train derailment, and it's by David Keppler. And basically, it's just about how everybody who criticizes the government's response to the train derailment or asks questions about the long-term environmental impact, or if they have health concerns or stuff, anybody who does any of that is basically spreading misinformation, Russian propaganda, etc. So, here we go. Okay. Okay, the AP. Pro-Moscow voices tried to steer Ohio train disaster debate by David Keppler, March 18th, 2023. Fuck off. Soon after a train derailed and spilled toxic chemicals in Ohio last month, anonymous pro-Russian accounts started spreading misleading claims and anti-American propaganda about it on Twitter, using Elon Musk's new verification system to expand their reach while creating the illusion of credibility. The accounts, which parroted Kremlin talking points on myriad topics, claimed without evidence that authorities in Ohio were lying about the true impact of the chemical spill. Well, they were fucking lying. Every time you asked them a question, they gave you all these bullshit weasel word answers that didn't really amount to anything. The account spread fear-mongering posts that preyed on legitimate concerns about pollution and health effects, and compared the response to their derailment with America's support for Ukraine following its invasion by Russia. So, criticizing how Joe Biden went to Ukraine but didn't go and see the people of East Palestine is spreading Russian propaganda. Fuck you, David Keppler. Some of the claims pushed by the pro-Russian accounts were verifiably false, such as the suggestion that the news media had covered up the disaster, or that environmental scientists to the site had been killed in a plane crash. You know, I never heard anything about the environmental scientists being killed in a crash. So, who's spreading misinformation here? Probably you dipshits. You dipshits probably cooked up this bullshit and said that pro-Russian social media accounts came up with it. But most were speculative, seemingly designed to stoke fear or distrust. Examples include unverified maps showing widespread pollution, posts predicting an increase in fatal cancers, and others about unconfirmed mass animal die-offs. So people talking about mass animal die-offs and talking about how they think that there's going to be an increase in cancers and other diseases because of the spill are spreading Russian misinformation. David Keppler, you are an Orwellian asshole. You call yourself a journalist. You should be ashamed of yourself. Biden offers food, water, medicine, shelter payments of pension, and social services to Ukraine. Ohio first. Offer and deliver to Ohio. What's wrong with that? That's not pro-Russian. That's saying stop bullshitting in Ukraine and help these people out in America. Fucking douchebag. Posted one of the pro-Moscow accounts, which boasts 25,000 followers and features an anonymous location and a profile photo of a dog. What's with all these vague descriptions? A bunch of people have profile pictures of dogs. Twitter awarded the account a blue check mark in January, so you're not even going to tell us who this person is. You're a fucking douchebag. Regularly spewing anti-US propaganda, the accounts show how easily authoritarian states and Americans willing to spread their propaganda can exploit social media platforms like Twitter in an effort to steer domestic discourse. The accounts were identified by Reset, a London-based nonprofit that studies social media's impact on democracy, and shared with the Associated Press. Felix Cart, a senior advisor at Reset, said the report's findings indicate Twitter is allowing Russia to use its platform like a bullhorn. With no one at home in Twitter's product safety department, Russia will continue to meddle in U.S. elections and in democracies around the world, Card said. Twitter did not respond to messages seeking comment for this story. Okay, let's see how long this bullshit is. Okay. Fuck off. The 38-car derailment near East Palestine, Ohio, released toxic chemicals into the atmosphere, leading to a national debate over rail safety and environmental regulations while raising fears of poisoned drinking water and air. The fact that a whole bunch of people demonstrated that the water clearly was polluted in streams and stuff around the derailment, and Ohio officials and various other government officials were saying that the water was safe to drink. Water treatment can't remove chemicals from the water. It can only remove, like, you know, heavy stuff. Like, it can't remove, like, water treatment doesn't get everything out of the water. So, like, we have no way of knowing exactly what's in the water or not. The disaster was a major topic on social media with millions of mentions on platforms such as Facebook and Twitter, according to an analysis by San Francisco-based media intelligence firm Signal Labs, which conducted a study on behalf of the AP. At first, the derailment received little attention online. Well, that's because the media was trying to cover it up at first. But ever since we heard about the Ohio train derailment, every fucking day we hear about other train derailments. And most of them, thankfully, aren't carrying anything that's toxic like this, but every fucking day there's another derailment. So, like, our infrastructure sucks. At first, the derailment received little attention online, but mentions grew steadily, peaking 2 weeks after the incident. Signal found a time lab that gave pro-Russia voices time to try to shape the conversation. Pro-Russia. The accounts identified by researchers received an extra boost from Twitter itself in the form of a blue checkmark. Before Musk purchased Twitter last year, its checkmarks denoted accounts run by verified users, often public figures, celebrities, or journalists. Because celebrities know so much. And journalists, yeah. Corporate journalists, we should listen to them. And government officials, they never lie. It was seen as a mark of authenticity on a platform known for bots and spam accounts. Musk ended that system and replaced it with Twitter Blue, which is given to users who pay $8 per month and supply a phone number. Twitter Blue users agree not to engage in deception and are required to post a profile picture and name, but there's no rule that they use their own. Under the program, Twitter Blue users can write and send longer tweets and videos. Their replies are also given higher priority on other posts. The AP reached out to several of the accounts listed in the Reset's report. In response, one of the accounts sent a 2-word message before blocking the AP reporter on Twitter. Shut up. That's funny. But you're not going to tell us who this person was. While researchers spotted clues suggesting some of the accounts are linked to coordinated efforts by Russian disinformation agencies, others were Americans, showing the Kremlin doesn't always have to pay to get its message out. Ooh, Americans spreading misinformation just because they want to. They don't even have to get paid for it. One account known as Truth Puke is connected to a website of the same name geared toward conservatives in the United States. Truth Puke regularly reposts Russian state media RT, formerly known as Russia Today. It's one of the favorite groups to repost. Reset found one video posted by the account features ex-President Donald Trump's remarks about the train derailment, complete with Russian subtitles. In response to questions from the AP, Truth Puke said it aims to provide a wide spectrum of views and was surprised to be able to sputter Russian propaganda, despite the accounts that have a use of such material. Asked about the video with Russian subtitles, Truth Puke said it used the Russian version of the Trump video for the sake of expediency. We can assure you it was not done with any Russian propagandist intent in mind. We just like to put out things as quickly as we find them, the company said. Other accounts brag of their love for Russia. One account on Thursday reposted a bizarre claim that the U.S. was stealing humanitarian earthquake relief supplies donated to Syria by China. The account has 60,000 followers and is known as Donbass Devushka, after the region of Ukraine. Another pro-Russian account recently tried to pick an online argument with Ukraine's Defense Department, posting photos of documents that it claimed came from the Wagner Group, a private military company owned by Yevgeny Prigozhin, a key Putin ally. Prigozhin operates troll farms that have targeted U.S. social media users in the past. Last fall, he boasted of his efforts to meddle with American democracy. A separate Twitter account claiming to represent Wagner actively uses the site to recruit fighters. Gentlemen, we have interfered, are interfering, and will interfere, Prigozhin said last fall on the eve of the 2022 midterms elections in the U.S., carefully, precisely, surgically, and in our own way as we know how to do, Prigozhin said at the time. Okay, well, I'm done with that. So, I just finished reading an article by David Keppler titled How Moscow Voices Tried to Use the Ohio Train Derailment to steer disaster debate. And so, like, he only has, like, some solid evidence that Russian oligarchs, like this one guy, Yevgeny Prigozhin, is actually interfering in U.S. political affairs. But most of what he was talking about is just bullshit, okay? Because, like, people questioning the government's response to the Ohio train derailment and questioning why what's that company? Why the company that owns the railroad why they were able to, like, test the water and the air itself, why they were able to do all the testing or pay another company to do the testing on their behalf. People who were asking, like, who were like talking about their concerns about, like, an increase in cancers and other diseases by the toxic spill. People who were talking about mass animal die-offs, like, just saying that they're spreading Russian misinformation. Fuck you, David Keppler. Fuck you. So yeah, most of what you said was bullshit. You only had, like, one, as far as I can tell from your article, like, one solid piece of evidence that some guy who is actively interfering in American politics, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner Group, or whatever that mercenary company is. But most everything else you said was fucking bullshit, and you should be ashamed.